in the quietude of our home. We had lived peacefully for many years without any trouble or disturbance. I was just around 11 years old when strange and unsettling occurrences began to disrupt the serenity of our lives. It all began with peculiar creaking sounds echoing through the house, sometimes emanating from beneath my very bed, and at other times, echoing eerily through the corridors. These unexplained noises cast a shadow of anxiety over our household. One fateful night, as I lay sleeping, I was abruptly jolted awake by a spine-chilling sight. A complete stranger stood ominously over me, his hand tightly clamped over my mouth and nose. In hushed but chilling tones, he ordered me not to utter a sound. Paralyzed with fear, I desperately rolled off my bed, attempting to scream for help. But fear has a way of silencing even the loudest of cries, and it took a moment to find my voice amidst the overwhelming terror. As I struggled to make my distress heard, my frantic cries reached the ears of my mother. You burst into my room with unwavering courage. The sudden appearance of my mother startled the intruder, momentarily disrupting his menacing presence. Even before she reached me, the intruder, seized by a surge of fear, swiftly and quietly opened my bedroom window, melting away into the shroud of darkness that enveloped the night. In the wake of this horrifying intrusion, we immediately contacted the police, recounting every spine-tingling detail of our ordeal. To our shock and dismay, the authorities suggested a disquieting possibility that the intruder might have clandestinely concealed himself within our home for several days, lurking in the shadows and evading our notice. This ordeal shattered the profound sense of security and tranquility that had once defined our cherished home, leaving us forever changed by the harrowing experience. It was a typical evening when my friends and I, aged around 9 or 10, were outside enjoying some playtime in the quiet neighborhood where we lived. Laughter and the carefree spirit of childhood filled the air. Little did we know that this evening would take an unsettling turn. As we engaged in our youthful amusements, an unsettling presence began to loom. We noticed a man in a truck making repeated rounds in our vicinity. Each time he passed by my friend's yard, his actions grew more suspicious. He drove at a snail's pace. It soon became apparent that this man was recording us, using one of those old handheld video recorders. This discovery sent shivers down our spines, and our playful laughter turned into anxious whispers. Frightened by this stranger's unsettling behavior, we rushed indoors to seek refuge at my friend's house. An urgent call was placed to my friend's mother, who instructed us to stay inside and insisted that I should return to my own home. I tried explaining that my own mother wasn't present at that moment, but her concern over our safety led her to make a swift decision. I resided approximately a mile or two down the road from my friend's house, and I can honestly say that I had never run so fast in my own life. Fear coursed through my veins as I raced homeward, the dread of the man with the camera lingering in my thoughts. As I sprinted, I noticed the same truck following closely behind me. Panic set in, and in a desperate bid to evade this ominous pursuer, I darted into a nearby grocery store. Inside the grocery store, I anxiously bided my time for what felt like an eternity, hoping that the menacing truck would disappear. After what seemed like an eternity, around 15 minutes, I emerged from the store and cautiously continued my journey home, relieved to find no trace of the truck. When I finally reached home, I recounted the harrowing incident to my mother, who was understandably furious that my friend's mother hadn't allowed me to remain in their house until she could personally pick me up. The fear and uncertainty of that evening left an indelible mark on all of us, serving as a chilling reminder of the unpredictability of the world around us. Late one night, I found myself in my room, engrossed in work on my computer. The hour was late, and the house was hushed in slumber. A sudden urge to use the bathroom interrupted my concentration. As I tiptoed out of my room, I was determined not to disturb anyone with unnecessary noise. I knew the path well. I had spent a month at this house each year for as long as I could remember. I quietly walked down the familiar hallway towards the bathroom, deciding against turning on the lights to avoid awakening my family members. The journey to the bathroom and back was typically uneventful, a well-rehearsed routine. I felt my way through the darkness, counting on memory to guide me. However, this night was destined to be different. On my way back to my room, as I moved through the pitch-black corridor, I noticed something eerie. Out of nowhere, I could have sworn I saw a shadowy figure in motion. My heart skipped a beat as I froze in my tracks. I strained my ears to hear any unusual sounds, but encountered only silence. Taking a few more cautious steps, I was stunned to see the shadowy form drawing nearer to me, moving directly towards me from the solid wood door to my room. My fear deepened, and I halted once again. It was the creepiest experience I'd had since childhood nightmares, but this was very real. Summoning all the courage I could muster, I mustered a loud voice and confronted the figure, demanding to know its identity and purpose. Slowly, it began to move back towards the hallway, opening the door and disappearing into the night. I was left trembling and drenched in sweat, my heart pounding with fear. My commotion woke everyone in the house. It was a chilling encounter in the dark of the night, a reminder of the importance of locking our doors